Hello, this is our recording of our moderation session.
Or group, online group 2?
Yes.
Yes.
So were we going to discuss student C first?
Yes.
Yeah, do that.
Do we just all want to go around and say like what grade we gave them first and then go into reasons and everything?
Sure.
Yep.
I ended up with a grade of C.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you did as well. Cool.
I
Yeah.
got a C.
I did as well, but they did get the right answers for the inferencing, like part A, question 6, and part A, question 5.
Question 6.
So I did a C.
I thought they
So
got 6 wrong.
Did they?
Yeah, because it's the answer for 6 is he only had books to use and he's ticked the middle one. I think.
Oh, sorry, it must have been B that I'm
All good.
thinking of. Yeah, no, you're right. So yeah, definitely a C then.
Yeah.
Everything.
So do you want to start at the first column?
First question? Yeah.
So
Yeah.
knowledge and understanding.
Mm-hmm.
So I started at a C because that's the at target or at level, and then identified if they met that C before moving up to either up or below.
Yes.
Yeah. So I identified that he got a C, or he or she, sorry, got a C in knowledge and understanding because of their number 1 in part A. They identified a personal event such as a birthday.
Correct, but it was only one event, not events.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So I don't think they could go higher than that.
Yeah. But then they also identified a way that life changed or stayed the same in question 4 in part
Yes.
A.
See,
They identified that they don't crawl anymore.
I thought,
but then,
oh, sorry. I thought that was wrong because I feel like that they would have been able to walk before starting school.
Mm.
yeah, okay.
Like he's saying, like I thought I did make a comment saying like that it was a good observation and that it's true that he like used to be able to crawl and now he can walk, but the question is something that has changed since starting school. So maybe like looking back at the changed and looking at like the specific thing of starting school to identify it means something's changed after that time.
Yes.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, I didn't pick that up.
I agree.
So therefore it's probably a D then for that, identified a change over time.
Yeah,
like
I had that wrong too.
So does that mean that it's identifying a change over time but not really answering the question?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I guess we could say for the D that change over time could be true because it is a change.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't crawl anymore. But then maybe, I mean, it doesn't say that they're in the criteria, does it, about it being specific to school? But I mean, they can't always, the criteria can't always account for the way each student is going to read or take each question.
So do you think then but then I suppose they haven't really answered the question properly. So does that mean that it's just acknowledging that a change or continuity because the whiteboard doesn't, also the second half of that question, something about the whiteboard that doesn't really kind of say much about something that's the same, unless they're alluding to the fact that the teacher always uses the whiteboard.
Yeah, but see, even that doesn't make a lot of sense to me, assuming these children have been through prep. They would have had a different teacher last year.
And I guess it's about your daily life, rather that's sort of more about your school life.
Yeah.
I found something interesting in the, not interesting, but in the knowledge and understanding descriptor parts. If we want to look at in the D column, the second bit that says changes over time. And then if we jump up to a B, it says describes changes or continuities over time. Maybe that's, I don't know if the word continuity plays anything, because I think maybe they have described a change over time, especially with that first bit, with the crawling, but
not
or wait, things that have stayed the same.
Just not linking with since starting school.
Yeah.
Oh, this is hard.
And they haven't really answered the question, unless they're saying, I don't crawl anymore since I started school. But as you said, Bianca, before, it's from starting school. So they probably crawled when they were younger, like a toddler.
Yeah.
Which was well before school. So maybe not understanding the
context.
Passage of time.
Yeah.
They've understood the passage of time, but not that the question is about something that's just from when school started, from when they were 5. But they've gone all the way back to when they were like 1 or 2.
Yes.
I guess the other part from part C that they have got right is identifying important personal and family events. You know, they were able to identify birthdays, and there's a Christmas and something like that. Oh no, Christmas is the other one. Birthdays. So I feel like they've at least got, I reckon that we could put them at a C for that.
Because they've got a bit of C and a bit of D.
Yeah.
In that knowledge and understanding column?
Yeah, I think so. Well, that's what I think anyway.
I agree. Yeah.
That works for me.
Okay.
I mean, I haven't, depends on the other papers too, obviously, and where it's sitting against those, but yeah.
All right. So if we move to the questioning and research column.
Okay.
Is everyone happy to move to that one?
Yeah.
Yep. So again, I started at the C and then moved up and down.
Yeah.
So I did say that they sequence personal events.
Yes, I've got that highlighted.
Because I suppose they've done kindy, prep, grade 1 and year 1.
Yeah,
yes.
I put a question mark for that. Oh, okay. I see what they might have done. I thought that the last 2 were meant to be different. But
yes.
But they could have just thought, oh, my cat's about to come in. I know.
They could have just thought, my cat's about to come in.
Yeah.
She just jumped up on the table right next to me. I thought she was going to walk across the screen, but she's over here. I guess the other kids did a sequence of 4. So they had 4 stages in a row, whereas this child has got 3. And
a double up.
And they've repeated it, but maybe that was just, I guess they did 3 things that led to where they are now. And I mean, what do you guys think? Are you happy to give that as the correct sequence?
Definitely not more than a C.
Yeah.
But
the only thing I did say was that it was in chronological order. So
which is better than some.
Yeah, some others didn't do chronological. They did like events or but not in order.
Mm.
But then I suppose it's not really saying, the only thing it's saying is that they've moved from kindy to prep to grade 1 or year 1.
Yeah.
And that's just, I suppose, saying they're getting older every year and getting.
I think.
But is that a personal event, or do they mean they're having a birthday? I suppose it's still a personal event because they're starting a new school year.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd be happy to give that. And then I think if we moved up to B, they've recorded the events on the calendar. That was pretty good.
Yeah, I had that too. And then I did moved up again to say it was in order, but then.
Okay.
But then it's probably a bit of a stretch to give them an A.
Yeah.
It's not as detailed as some. So probably a B, because they did do part B, question 5, where they had 3 personal events, and they also had Mother's Day and Easter they added.
Yeah.
Yeah. The teacher must have written it for them, hey? But they just got really good writing on that one. No, but it's nothing like their writing for Miss Cool's whiteboard.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, the teacher must have read it. Yeah, written it, as you said. But then it's not asterisks. There's an asterisk that says text circled by, or, where there's been in green text it says ticks made by teacher.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe she just wrote small.
Unless it was
homework.
Oh, yeah. Or when like conferencing. So if the child didn't know how to fill it out, sometimes you can ask them to say, oh, sort of prompting them, have a think about when's your mum's birthday, and then kind of demonstrating for it, because it could be the teacher's writing. Actually, I didn't think of that.
And the year 1, and so writing this kind of response, it would have to be, I suppose, teacher-led.
So
we can't tick off the calendar. I can't.
But I think they've still met it. It's just that it's written for them.
Oh, yeah.
So I think you can still give them the mark, because we're not marking on their writing.
Yeah, okay.
True.
I suppose we're marking on their answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I wouldn't go up to an A.
Yeah. So I think, so a B for questioning and researching column.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's pretty equal with what I got.
Can I just go back 1 second to knowledge and understanding? We're on a C there. There was a tick that if we got to A, provides reasons for the importance, they did get a tick for that on page the question 2, part B.
Ticks made by teacher.
I know what you mean by the ticks, but are you going back to knowledge and understanding?
Sorry, I just realised that we decided on a C, but I guess I'm just bringing it up because they didn't meet B. Oh, they didn't meet B, actually. That's right. That was discussed in the last tutorial, that if they haven't met one of them, even if they've kind of showed a little bit above, you can't really move them up. No, that's all good.
Yeah, because when I was on prac, my supervising teacher said start at C, and then if they meet it, then you can move up, but you can't jump up. Yeah, it has to be. Yeah.
That's right. I just forgot that for a second.
Yeah. But I suppose it's good for feedback that we say, yes, you did do like a level A answer for this part.
Yeah. That's true.
But they didn't get an A overall because they still, didn't meet the criteria.
I kind of went through, sorry, just before we go on. Yeah, I kind of went through and did like, if you can see like a tick or a cross in like every single one.
Just
Yeah,
Okay.
we used
I don't know if you guys did that as well.
I highlighted.
Oh, highlighted. Cool.
yeah, I did that. Yeah.
Okay. That was just
Yeah.
a good point about feedback for that. I will remember that for my assignment.
Yeah.
Cool. Should we move on?
Yep. So we were up to analysing, evaluating, and reflecting.
Yeah.
So I said a B for that one
Yeah, same.
because because they answered
Question 5.
question 5 correctly,
Yep.
Yeah.
but they didn't
Not
answer
6.
question 6, so they can't move up to an A.
Yeah.
And they met C as well, so it started at C, they met C, and then went up to B because they answered question 5 correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah, part B, 3 and
The tricky thing is we don't have access to part B question 3. Oh, sorry, that's...
Well, I think it's this one about on that page.
hang on. I have that screen on. What was that? Which one?
I thought part B was that one, that page,
Oh, yeah. Yep, that's right.
where they
That's
have
part B. Wow. Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
part B,
yeah, they
3
do.
and 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 and 4, which is Anzac Day,
Yep.
New Year's Day. I know they've not spelt it correctly, but I think that they're trying to say January, but that's really hard for a year 1 student to write.
Yeah. Oh, it's really well done. It's good.
Yeah.
But they've got some extra things in there more than...
Yeah. So I had B for analysing, evaluating, and reflecting.
Yeah.
Yes. Same.
So then the last column is communicating.
Yeah.
And
we haven't got access to the storyboard.
Yeah.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
So I made some assumptions.
Yeah.
Because I think there was a tick. Wasn't it? Oh no.
I couldn't see a tick.
Yeah.
I couldn't really see anything for any of them for question 3, but I feel like we can probably still figure out their grade without that information, that one question.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they definitely got a C. They share stories about events from their past.
Yeah.
Which was part B, question 2, which is this one where they talked about Christmas.
Yeah.
A sister's birthday.
Yeah.
And I assume that's another, I don't know what the activity is, but they've drawn something, maybe another birthday or going somewhere where there's a butterfly. It looks like a butterfly.
Yeah, no idea. Maybe some sort of gift.
I thought, because it's not annotated, whereas the other 2 were annotated by the teacher. She's got Christmas and then sister's birthday, and then I'm wondering if the 3rd one is a part of that.
Oh, you mean part of
the birthday or the present for Christmas? Like only
True.
2.
So then the question asks, what are 3 events?
Yeah.
So do we only say that they've replied with 2 out of 3 events?
But I guess it still meets the criteria about sharing stories and events from their past.
Yes.
Do you think?
Yeah, well, I mean, if you go lower, they were just tells a story about a personal or family event.
So they're doing that singular. And then C is plural, events.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I feel like they've got that.
Yeah, I had C.
I had C. Yeah, okay.
But I mean, yeah.
So you both had C as well?
Yeah.
I had C as well, but yeah, I'm just wondering, looking at the using a storyboard to tell about past events, terms to denote time. And I guess we actually marked that correct for a previous one about telling that the sequencing of time. We said, we gave the child the marks for that.
Oh, okay. So, in questioning and research.
Yeah, we did. So I'm just wondering, I mean, I put a cross there for some reason, but looking at it now, I'm wondering if...
Whereabouts? Where are you? Sorry.
So I'm looking at communicating under B, uses a storyboard to tell about past events. Terms. Past events terms to denote time.
So actually,
and where was
that's a no.
Yeah.
And where was the other place where you...
Yeah, because there's no terms.
They're not talking about, they've just, I think, because we gave it an A because it's sequenced in chronological order.
Yeah.
So something that happened in order over time. But in communicating, they haven't talked about in terms of time, like,
first,
last year.
Yeah. They've just labeled
or 3 years ago, they just went prep grade 1. Yeah.
No, that's right. Cool.
So a C.
Yeah.
I gave a C for that one.
Yes.
So therefore, they were between a D and a C for the first column, but we said probably C because they've got most of it.
Yeah.
They had a B for the second column, a B for the third column, and a C for the last column. So they had kind of half and half. Half C, half B. So I find it always hard to go, well, what do you do when they're in between a B and a C?
I feel like maybe this is where some intuition comes in, and we've kind of really talked a lot about whether they really did meet them. And
because I think when you sorry, go on.
Oh, and the fact that we all kind of gave them a C initially means maybe we're more leaning towards a C, especially if the first column it actually was half the criteria was in D and half the criteria was in C.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely a C.
If their knowledge and understanding is just bordering a pass, then... And their ability to communicate that is just a pass.
Yeah.
Maybe... Do you reckon
C plus at the most? Are we going to do pluses and minuses?
No, I don't think we can for primary school. But like what you just said before about keeping those in there for the comments about
the feedback.
The feedback, where they're doing well.
Because the questioning and research, because I even had they got the A in that column because they did the chronological order. But
right, yeah.
Didn't we take that off, or not? Didn't we decide?
Oh, we did have that, didn't
we? Crossed.
I think they got it, but it wasn't in a lot of detail.
Yeah.
She got 3, but she didn't get the 4th one.
That's right, yes. Because there's 2 grade 1s.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think there's the, I suppose, the basic levels there about chronological order, but it's not, I suppose, well communicated. But yeah, again, as you said, that's, I suppose, feedback. But because they're bordering D, C for the first column and it's only a BC, that it kind of evens it out to a C.
Yeah.
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 I'm
Yep.
happy with a C.
I am too.
Awesome. Oh my gosh, how long did that take? Do we have we're running out of time. We moved the 40-minute time limit on your group meeting. Okay. Do we want to end the recording there? Just because? No?
I think you're going.
Okay.
Don't you, Ash?
Oh yeah, we might as well. I don't think they're going to sit
so.
through and like actually watch this anyway. They're probably just going to click through to make sure we're still talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll
Okay, so
share
which one?
the.
Oh, so we have
the
to write
quality
some.
issue.
We have to write some comments.
Yeah. So I was just saying that it was like bordering between a B and C, but
Knowledge and understanding. Yep.
was so averaging out, or can you say so averaging or moderating? So
Yeah, averaging.
I suppose
And also, I think
consensus.
pointing out as well,
That's good.
the fact that they got a B in questioning and researching without doing it completely independently either. Like they were able to put the things on the calendar, but they were assisted to do that as well. So they were kind of assisted to get that B. So it's still sitting like that slightly under that B, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Okay, beautiful.
Does that sound okay? That we were all in consensus?
Yeah.
Yep. That's good.
Great.
Okay, I'll
Yay! We moderated something. I'm so excited.
I'll put it in your one.
This is so much fun.
Yeah.
It's nice to actually doing something practical that you feel like you're going to
to.
actually do.
Yeah.
Oh, we all started with a C, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay. All right. Do we want to do another one that we've all done again, or actually I've only got A and B done.
Well, I've got A and E.
I've done B and
I've looked through B though. I can probably give it like a real quick mark. If you wanted to do that as well.
Okay. Yep. Can we pause the recording while we mark it, or?
Oh, sure. Yeah. There we go.
so what, with a new Zoom or?
Oh no, I just press pause, so I just press play again.
Okay.
Yeah, do we want to do the same thing again? Going from knowledge and understanding?
Yes. Yep. So we're looking at sample B this time.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's for the video.
Yeah.
And I suppose my initial grade of sample B was a C.
Maybe.
Did anybody else get?
Did you get
different?
I'm just going to double check the sample again because I was sort of split the same as the last one. Because I guess he's identified something that's changed. Like he's used that word now. It's new. I have a new house. That's something that's like I guess it doesn't really talk about, it's not relating to school. Although it, or maybe it could be, maybe.
Yeah, because it's something in your daily life that has changed since starting school.
So he's moved house. I think that's a good one.
Okay.
I mean, I thought it was better than the other person.
Yeah. So in knowledge and understanding, I gave a C because they identify ways life has changed or stayed the same over time. So the new house. I didn't really know what they were talking about in the second one.
I think it says I'm going to sleep at night.
Oh, sleep at night,
he's still going to bed every night. Like, that's the same thing, which is, I guess, true as well, you know?
Yes. So that stayed the same. So he still goes to bed every night. He or she. Yeah. Sorry, when I say he. Sorry, that's it.
So that's almost into a B. Part A, question 4, under knowledge and understanding, describes changes or continuities over time. Do you think?
Because I suppose it's just they've given one example of each. Whereas describe changes or continuities over time. They're not, I suppose, related to each other. They're two separate, distinct things.
I reckon.
Do you know what I mean?
Like, they're two separate ones.
Okay.
Because the question just says something for the first one, something in your life that's changed, and the second one says something in your life.
And remember the other one that we gave a C. Oh no, I guess we were talking about a D for her. But
what were you?
She was talking about crawling. It sounded to me like a good example of something that actually has happened since they started school.
So, sorry.
And I mean, they described it and said that they've got a new house, basically.
No, I agree with you. I just don't know why. This is hard.
It's tricky.
Yeah.
Identify ways life has changed or stayed the same over time. Describes changes or continuities over time. So
I think the fact that we don't have any of part A question 3 makes it really hard for me to jump in straight away and say, yes, they've met part B, because we don't have that information. It's so hard. I was just thinking about why I was having reservations about agreeing with you, and I think that's probably it. But I'm happy to, if we say like sitting between B or C or something, and see how the rest goes. Do you reckon?
Yes.
Sure, yeah.
And I think even just the part A, question 1, well, they were quite, getting new pets, a plane ride, and I think, like you said, the beach or holiday, they're a different level to just birthdays. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah, yep.
I think they need a bit more. I think they definitely well and truly got the C for that, and maybe a bit more. Does that make sense?
Oh, still for the knowledge and understanding?
Yeah, well.
No, I agree, actually.
I think it's a better paper than the first one that we did.
Yeah, because question 1, they've given 4. Like, although we can't really decipher some of the drawings, but if we were able to talk to them and get them to describe verbally, there's 4 examples.
Yeah.
part A, question 1, and then there is for part B, question 1. They've also done 3 events.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, they've done a birthday, and a Christmas.
Yeah.
So they've met that. So I think they've definitely got the C. But and then you said, yeah, they've described change as a continuity. So they've got half a B, but then because we don't have the information on part A, question 3.
Yes.
Yeah. That's why they're not a B.
So maybe we could see how the rest goes, and if the student's doing sort of at a B or an A level, maybe we could assume that the part A, that the part A question 3, that they're sitting in that B.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But
that sounds good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then, if we go to part B, question 2, to see if they get an A, I didn't have any evidence of that, so I didn't give them an A because they haven't provided a reason for the importance of the events. It's just got some ticks.
Yeah.
yes.
But are we assuming that's the
I didn't
ticks
have it highlighted.
No.
It's a pity.
So based on this, I don't think there's enough information to give them an A.
No.
Yeah. And
Because
also,
it's also not a green tick from the teacher, it's just a tick.
yeah, and
the other one said, sorry, go on.
Oh, I was just going to say, and also that the sequencing in chronological order in part A, question 2, it's not. He's gone from 5 to 4 to 5 to 6.
Yes,
So,
but that's going on to questioning and researching.
Yes, next column.
Oh, sorry, that's what I thought we'd moved on to. Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry, I thought we were, because they were halfway between a B and the C. We were going to maybe make some assumptions to see if they were moving up to an A.
That part B, question 2 in knowledge and understanding didn't tick the A box.
Oh, okay, sure.
But I didn't, I've still...
Yeah, I hadn't highlighted A.
I hadn't highlighted because I don't think there's enough information.
Yeah.
No.
All right, so they're between a B and a C for knowledge and understanding.
Yeah.
The next one, questioning and researching.
Now, this is where the sequencing becomes an issue.
Yeah, because I said they've sequenced personal events, so I gave them the C because I suppose there's...
Even though they got it backwards?
It's this week, but then I didn't give them the A because it's not in chronological order. Because it was only New Zealand that wasn't in order. So it was 5th birthday, then New Zealand, and then Hong Kong when they were 5, and Year 1 when they're 6.
What do you think the difference between sequencing of personal events and sequencing chronological awareness is? Because I feel like they're the same thing. Oh, no, actually, like a sequencing of an event, it could just be describing events that happened in order, not necessarily...
Yeah, because
third.
Because in the blue part on the top, it says sequence personal and family events in order.
Yeah.
And
they haven't done that, which is C.
Yeah,
so I kind of thought, well, they didn't get an A because it's not chronological, but there is some kind of sequence. They've just got 1 out of the 4 wrong.
Yeah.
So I kind of gave them a half a C.
Look, and I mean, they're 6 years old, so
yeah.
I'm happy with that as well.
A B?
Let's see. Or a C.
A C.
Let's see how they go with. Let's move them up and down then on that.
I did tick the B for that column as well about the calendar, which they did complete.
Yeah, but then I said that they only got 2 out of 3. So when you go to part B, question 5, it said that they had to do at least 3.
Oh, I don't actually think I
Personal
read
and
that
family
before.
events. And there's only 2 birthdays because I didn't think Christmas was really a personal or family event. It's more like that's just what happens in every year. Or do you count Christmas as a personal or family event?
I guess they'd spend
I would call it a family event.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then they also said it was, they got the date wrong. So I kind of, I think I just said they didn't get 3. I thought they only got 2, but.
Yeah.
I think I think there's a circle on the 15th for the teacher might have marked, just maybe the wrong date.
Yes.
I don't know if I'd expect a 6-year-old to know the exact date of all the, special events each year.
Yeah, true. So I gave them a B, but just made a note that there was, some. So that, I suppose that's a good feedback, maybe telling them when Christmas is.
Yeah.
But they still mostly got it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm happy for a B there.
Yeah.
And then we crossed off the A, didn't we?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, the chronological.
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't get that.
I think there's consensus reached, do you reckon?
Yeah, and then so analysing, evaluating and reflecting, I actually gave them a B.
Yeah, same.
In there because they met C, so then I moved up from C because in part A, question 5, they got
5 right, and
they got 5 right, but they didn't get 6 right because they ticked that he had computers in the classroom, and I made a note that the question is about Charlie's granddad, not Charlie. So Charlie's granddad didn't actually have computers in his classroom. I think he kind of I think it was a tough one because I thought maybe he just got confused with the question.
But I guess that's what an A standard is exceeding. It's really quite high to have that comprehension. Is sitting like A is almost in the next grade level, isn't it?
Isn't it 2 grades?
Yeah.
Oh, is it 2 grades?
Don't they say? Isn't it like a C? Don't they say that if you're a C level, then you're passing that year level, like year level, you're meeting the criteria for year 1?
Yeah.
And B, isn't it 2 grades effectively?
Oh, I didn't know that. I just thought an A was you're consistently operating at a higher grade. Not that you were a year ahead.
Yeah, I've heard that said somewhere. I don't know whether that was.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah. I'd heard an A was like about the same as a C of the grade above, but
okay.
Oh, I don't know. Don't know though. I can't tell you where I heard that. I feel like it might have been when I was at school. So. Yeah,
they're a lot more strict, I find, dishing out A's and B's these days.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
but I did actually find it interesting with a conversation with my son's teacher recently that they don't seem to moderate much between schools at all. So what one school's giving can be completely different to a different school.
There you go.
Like yeah.
I mean, it kind of makes sense just in terms of how much time teachers have though, right? Could you imagine like all the work that goes into just running the classroom and all the marking and between class moderation?
I know. Oh, I know. I just thought that they sent off samples.
Yeah.
But they don't.
Akara has the samples, so maybe they think that everyone looks at that to get the base.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah. But for this sample, are we all in agreement that it was a B?
B for analysing.
Evaluating.
Yep.
And then
Share stories.
Communicating, I had a C, but then they did do a little bit of B, but I didn't mark it off completely because it's sorry, I'll go back. So I said a C because part A, question 3, or not that we know that, but part B, question 2.
That's well done.
They had some ticks, but we're not sure if that's teacher ticks.
Oh, part B, question 2. Oh, I was looking at part A.
And this one's hard because there's not enough. Part A, question 3, we don't really have the answer.
Yeah.
No.
And part B, question 2, there's ticks there, which I'm assuming are the teachers.
Yeah.
So I just assumed that they were a C.
Use a storyboard for a B. Uses a storyboard to tell about past events to denote time. I feel like they did use a storyboard, even though it was slightly out of order.
Yes.
Yeah.
To tell a past, you kind of get a clear story about some events that have happened. When he was 5, he had this birthday party, and then a bit of traveling when he was 4 and 5,
Yeah.
and now he's in school.
Yes, so I had actually tentatively highlighted that as well, so B. But I know it doesn't refer, it's referring to part A. Oh yeah, that's referring to part A, question 2.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I was just, assuming. Oh, sorry. I was still on C for communicating. That I suppose they've done but because we don't know that info. So it made some assumptions.
For part A, question 3, yeah. Oh, I assumed
they've done a storyboard above, so assuming they've shared it.
Yeah, so I definitely think they met C.
Yeah. So do you think they've met B?
Probably. Because the thing in brackets is part A, question 2.
Yeah, so
that is quite a bit of a storyboard.
Yeah.
Quite a bit of detail. More than just the kindy prep 1 and 1 again, like the other sample that we gave C.
That's true.
They've kind of labelled the years. Yeah, that they've labelled the age and the event.
Yeah, that's right too. Yeah, that's denoting time. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So they've labelled event and they've put there how old they were.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's
whereas the other one, if you remember, just said kindy prep 1 and 1, grade 1, year 1 or something.
Yeah, there is a bit more detail. Yeah, you're right. But I don't think they've got an A though in communicating. I couldn't see any evidence of connecting ideas using appropriate terms or phrases to denote the passing of time.
No, I didn't highlight A.
Yeah.
Because part A, question 3, it's that storyboard again that's missing.
Yeah.
And then part B, question 2 is the ticks again. That we don't know enough information on.
Yeah.
So
I also feel like that can be that A. I've tended to be going to part A, question 4, where they've got the drawings about things that have changed and things are the same, and looking at their descriptions, because a couple of the other kids were using words like things like before such and such and now such and such. So you using those terms or phrase in the A, it says uses terms or phrases to denote the passing of time. So the actual descriptions of the change of what had happened before and how it was different or similar to now. I mean, one of the other kids said something like, I'm still doing rock climbing.
Yeah, okay. I don't think I've seen that one yet.
Yeah, so I think in comparison to this child, they've kind of...
sample A.
Yeah, kind of just stated a thing, and we've made an assumption that it's different. So even like now they've got a new house, he hasn't written a sentence saying, since starting school, I've moved house into a new house, or something about the same. I'm going to sleep at night. Like still, or like those phrases, those words that show that passing of time, or the what are they called, like whatever, comparative, like, or using tense or anything like that.
Because in the blue section, like under communicating, it says share stories about the past using everyday terms to denote the passing of time. So it hasn't kind of said, like what you're saying about last year or yesterday or since or still. Yeah.
So definitely not an A, but are you still saying you think B is okay?
Yeah, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
Looks like a
so that means
and do also, I mean, that doesn't, communicating doesn't actually mention question 4 in brackets anywhere either. That's the other thing.
It's true.
That's the part that I find confusing.
Part A, question 4. It does is
Question.
Oh, sorry.
No, go on.
Do you mean in general or?
Oh, in the communicating column.
Oh, sure.
So part A, question 4 is over on knowledge and understanding mainly, isn't it?
Yeah, which we gave them a B.
Yeah.
But because communicating is about sharing their stories, so that'd be the verbal component, and we don't have the verbal component of using this paper-based.
Oh, right.
Okay. And there's no notes from the teacher saying that, yes, they did it.
So I was giving them a B in communicating, but I was basing it mainly on that question A, part A, question 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which
because
I think they did well.
They've named an event and they put how old they were. Yeah.
Several events, yep.
Yeah. And it was better than just, kindy prep year 1.
Yes,
yep.
yes.
Yep, okay. So in that case, they were kind of between a B and a C for knowledge and understanding. Then they were a B for questioning and research, a B for analysing and evaluating, and a B for communicating. So probably overall a B, even though they were between a B and a C for the first column.
And remember, the only reason we were not sure is because we had missing information.
Yes.
I feel like they're quite a solid B as well. Like,
I think so
throughout
too.
discussions, it didn't seem like we were trying to see if we could make them a
Yeah.
B. We were discussing potentially A's as well. So,
yes.
Yeah.
Yep. No, spot on, I reckon. Yeah, that's good. All right, should we do a third one?
All right, I'm just doing the notes that we've made.
Oh, sorry. I've got
So
my
I've said
on,
solid
yours.
B.
Yeah.
Yep.
Labelled events and added ages to part A, question 2.
One sequence was out, I think.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. They've used the storyboard to denote time.
Yeah.
And they got part A, question 5, correct.
Yeah. You could say
Consistency.
to talk about past events, but didn't use markers like still or whatever you were saying.
Oh, okay, yeah.
If you wanted. So not worthy of going up higher than that.
Didn't.
In above that.
Oh.
Type.
We can all edit this, and
Yeah.
it's just to get most of what we talked about on paper that we can then edit later on for all tidy up.
Yep. Do we have to submit this,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that document? Okay.
Yeah.
So it has to be the same then by all of us?
Yeah.
I
Is
think
that right?
so.
Like we can't, when you say edit, we can't change it so that it's different. Like what we submit has to be the same.
I reckon we can probably edit it if we want to, but as long as it's like generally the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just noticing too, there's space for each of us to have 3. So I think we all need to write in there what student samples we did and our initial grade, and then put the marker's name for us. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not just 3 samples. There's 9 there.
Yeah, so I've put, like the first 3 is that not right? Like the first 3 is my, I suppose and then I had the next 3 was your mark.
Oh, great. Oh, cool. That's
and then Angela Hamilton is
great.
down
Yeah.
there. But I was just copying it.
Before
across.
you do, can I just show you something?
Did you all start with a B though? Because I started with a C and moved to a B. But were you
I started
all
with a B.
You started with a B?
Yeah, for sample B.
Yeah. Okay.
So you can change about, if you want to change that then to a C, you can change the wording of all in consensus to consensus reached or something. If you're going to put C down and change it.
Oh, yeah.
Also, just in that, before you cut and paste it everywhere,
Yeah.
they didn't proceed to an A, I think relates to the use storyboard to donate time and talk about past events. Question 5 is something different. Question 5 is the computer books thing. So you want this comment about didn't proceed to an A.
For communicating.
You want it, maybe, I see.
Yeah, because we didn't say they went,
But it relates to the use the story to board to donate time and talk.
Yeah.
They need to be together. Does that make sense?
sorry, is it?
Because that's the B. Yeah, that's the B, and then that's the A. Yeah. Maybe we should put that makes more sense. Sorry. Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah.
Maybe we should
And the other thing, I think, for the A is if we go back to knowledge and understanding, we said that this child got a C, probably a B, but we're missing information. If we're going to do that progression of meeting the benchmark and moving up, if we assume with the missing information that they've actually reached a B, he's actually reached an A level for knowledge and understanding if we assume that the missing information was a B, because the teachers ticked off the verbal descriptions of the importance of the events.
Okay, yeah.
B2.
So back in knowledge and understanding.
No, I'm just going back to look at the question.
Hang on, just get rid of it.
Just while I was looking at your just your notes on why we didn't reach an A, I realised there was another category where it potentially could have reached an A as well. But that's if we assume that he'd met all of B through that missing information.
There wasn't that much missing information, was there?
Well, the whole question, that part 3, question 3.
part A, question 3, because that's a verbal.
But which mark is that affecting?
Knowledge and understanding.
Communicating.
Yeah. So we didn't move past to B because we don't know if they've shared their storyboard with the class, because there's no markings for that by the teacher. So we didn't go past to B but yeah, unless we make an assumption that they've done a storyboard so then they shared it.
I guess it doesn't really change our final marks anyway. I guess I was just making a small observation as you were typing about, you know, why we discussed some A's and why we landed on a B. Potentially could have been an A there, but still a pretty solid B, I think.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah. Agreed.
And I think, well, what we can do is with this moderation, because I suppose this is just quickly typing as we're talking, but we can go back and maybe if we all take it turns in tidying it up and editing it and then get a final version. Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay. Okay.
You want to do one more?
Do we have, because I think we probably need to moderate all of them, don't we?
Sorry?
And I think we need to go through each of them if we have time, and if because it says they use the information gathered from either 2 or 3 markers, so it probably depends, like that if we'd split them up, there's probably only some that only 2 of us have done, so those 2 people can talk about those.
Yeah, sure. So why don't we do 3 tonight and we can do 2 tomorrow or something?
Yeah, sure.
Does that work? Or
okay.
I'm happy to. What about are you okay with that time, Angela Greenwood?
Yeah, it's fine.
Because if we've got to do something in the lecture, we may as well.
I feel like we're getting faster at this anyway, like the more we go along.
So we've done sample B and sample C. So what did you want to do next? A, D, or E? Do you want to do yours, Bianca? You did E, and I haven't done it, and Angela Hamilton,
I
you
haven't done it either. No.
So do you want to do that one where you?
Well, if you guys
walk us through how you've got.
Oh, okay.
Is that what you mean?
Sorry. Oh, sure. I thought because we need 2 people. I think.
Oh, okay.
Do you think that that's what that sheet says? Gathered 2 or 3 markers. Oh,
because I think that we're the markers, so there's 3 of us.
Yeah, right. Oh, okay. No, that makes sense too. Because like if we had our own classes and we were bringing students' papers, I could be like, "Hey, this is my sample of a student who got an A." So
that's right.
Okay.
That's right.
So this is my sample of a student who got an A, student E.
Okay.
And they've met A in across all levels, and I put ticks right from E all the way up to A across everything. So if you want to open up the maybe I can do this. And
I'll stop sharing.
Well, maybe if you're sharing, could you do you have the web page available you could share instead of?
Oh, what's the web page?
The
sample.
The document of sample student E.
This one?
Actually, I probably should do that then. Hey, I can just scroll down.
Oh, okay, so I'll stop sharing.
Sure. So what?
And then I think.
What did you want to share?
Next to participants, there's a green button that says share.
Oh, yeah.
With an arrow pointing upwards. I press that, and then it asked. But I must admit, I had some stuff open in the background.
Is that sharing now?
That's right.
Yep.
It's covering my. How do I move this so I can? Because it's covering the tabs I need. I'll just close these. Is that tab B and C, E? Here we go.
All right. So if we go, I'll just take this off. Okay, so part A, question 1, important events. They do only have one event, but they've got an important event, and this kind of detail there, it looks like a birthday. Look at the 6 cake and some balloons. So I did mark. The marking kind of goes all over the place. Should I just go through and do my quick analysis, and then we can go through the board, the criteria sheet a little bit later on, because this kind of, we need a bit more information. So make your own storyboard. They have a sequencing according to age. So they've got the chronological here. So the first one's the birthday from 5 turning to 6, and that's the party. And then they've got the party, my birthday, then the party day. So I feel like they're I thought they were like 2 separate events. And then last day of prep when they were 6, and then the first day of grade 1, 6.5. So I thought that they were kind of, separate events, like 4 separate events and 4 separate ages that went chronologically as well. So that's why for questioning and researching, they've got the chronological, which is A, and I'll just jump down to the calendar so we can mark off that they do have the B as well. Sorry, I'm kind of jumping a little bit, but here's the calendar to show that they have met B. So 3 events: the birthday on August 28th, Dad's birthday on 27th, and Mum's over here in September.
Mum's got birthday for 2 days.
Sorry?
But
yeah, I feel like maybe they couldn't remember.
Yeah.
It might be
I saw that.
27.
I thought it was either or, because they didn't know, because I know that my son, who's 7 now, he knows now, but when he was in year 1, if I asked him what my birthday was, he wouldn't know.
Oh, there you go. So I guess just straight away, I feel like the questioning and researching just from those couple of things have met the A. Do you want to see any more evidence for that section?
Just scroll up. He says Anzac Day, does he? What's just above that?
Yeah, he's got Anzac Day and
Okay.
what date? January the 1st. I mean, I feel like, we could do some extra work with the TH, because that's obviously wrong, but he's got the right, like he's been able to locate the information on the calendar.
Okay.
So also if we're doing, let's go back up.
Okay.
And then,
So I agree that there's a sequence in part A, question 2. There's a sequence and it is in order. And it seems to follow the story. And I like also the way this student has said I turned from 5 to 6.
Yeah. And then the next one says when 6.
Yeah. So they had their party when they were 6, so maybe that it was after their birthday.
Yeah. And still using that term of when 6, like in the past.
Yeah.
That happened when I was 6, then the next one was the last day of prep and it was again 6, and then further is the first day of grade 1 and I'm 6.5. So there's that labeling of events. The sequence is correct. Chronologically, it's correct.
Sorry, go on, Angela.
The other thing is that with those questions, I get the impression from question 1 to question 2. If I read it right, anyway, can you scroll up to question 1?
Yeah.
So I get the impression they're supposed to put the events up there on question 1 and then use those same events in question 2. And this student has actually done that. Like it relates, it's the same thing that they're talking about, whereas some of the other students haven't done that. Like it's not just, does that make sense?
I have not picked that up.
Neither have I.
Draw
Okay.
pictures that show these important events in order. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Okay. So question 1 and 2 have to be related, and I didn't pick that up either. So that's good.
That's the way I'm interpreting it. And
no, that's because it's a birthday, and then it shows the start is the birthday.
Yeah, and so this student's actually done that. The other two, the Hong Kong one, like the sample B did a bit, but not perfectly, and sample C didn't.
So I guess we can probably put a bit of feedback. Do you remember from the I can't remember if it was the tutorial or maybe I think I'm remembering correct that it was this subject, that we could also write in our like reflections or analysis or whatever for feedback for the actual sheets. And we could say that it was really confusing, like the children didn't have opportunities for complete success in these because question 1, like it's good that it's so open, but the fact that they're connected, maybe in question 1 they should have asked for 4 events, like draw 4 events that were important to you that happened in your life. Then the next one, order them, so it was a bit clearer rather than just, because technically, like if they've got 1 event or even 2 events, it's just a bit vague. It's not explicit enough.
Yes.
I didn't pick up on that.
Yeah, neither did I. That the question 1 and 2 had to be related or start with an event that they then draw in order.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but for questioning and researching, you've got them at an A.
Questioning and researching, yep. So that's what I put. Do you guys in your moderation agree with that?
Yeah, because it's, compared to some of the other samples, they've given more detail and used more words about like from and when. And they've even, I liked the way they've, done the last day of prep and then they've known then the first day of year 1.
Yes.
And that's like the next year and the next, there's been a passage of time that's gone in order. Yeah.
So if we jump back to knowledge and understanding, if we're to show that they fulfilled a C, identifies important personal and family events, part A and part B, question 1. So they've shown an event, part A, question 1. Let's go to part B, question 1. Why are these events important? It's got a tick. For the reasons.
Hang on, you're doing question 1?
Oh, sorry.
Part B.
And then part B. Oh, sorry.
Question 1, not question 2.
Yeah, so part B, question 1 has got their mum's birthday.
Mum, dad, and I guess them. So that's still 3 events. And then, sorry, I was jumping for the second question, that the fact that the teachers crossed it off, that ticks the reasons in the A column.
Oh, I see. Yep.
So it really, you kind of jump around, don't you? So I guess I ticked off the A because the teachers ticked off that bit. So we're assuming that they verbalised that. Part for a grade of a B, I think we just went through those two.
But sorry, in knowledge and understanding, part A, question 4, did they achieve that? Describe changes or continuities over time?
Yep. So I wrote some notes here. So when I was at prep, I did not swim, and now I can in grade 1. So I thought the use of the
good.
When I was and now I could was comparative and showing
that's a much better
time.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Much better sentence than the others wrote.
Yeah, so definitely a B for there.
And then this one was a little unclear, but I felt like the drawing helped. So I think they were saying when I was in prep, I play. When I was in grade 1, I play. And I just wrote some notes. I feel like if I was with the child, I'd clarify, do you mean play football? Because that's what they've drawn. So maybe,
even just that they play. They play in grade 1 and they play in prep.
Mm.
Oh, yeah, great.
I think that's, yeah.
Because it's the same. So same since starting school.
Oh, yeah.
So they still have playtime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The same, yeah.
So,
yeah.
And much more complete sentences. And like you said, you said earlier that they're using terms or phrases to denote the passing of time with the when words and things like that, and now.
Yeah,
and stuff
when
like that.
was, now.
Yeah.
Yeah. When
I did not swim, now I can.
Yeah.
That there's
good.
And that's showing there's the change that's occurred, which is in.
So is that question 4?
Yeah, question 4. So that's I feel like with that being quite solid in a B, in the B level, and then the teachers ticked off the reasons for the events in the A level, I felt justified in giving them an A for knowledge and understanding. What do you guys think?
Yeah, because we don't know about part A, question 3, but yeah, we can make an assumption that they've done a storyboard, so we're making an assumption that they've shared it. And because they've, as you said, they've achieved an A for part B, question 2.
And just the level of, I guess, like the quality of their sentences and
yes,
like the detail.
Yep.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I wouldn't want the A to be on all assumed knowledge on our behalf, but
fair enough.
And I know we've got, there's the other column where we don't, question 3 comes into communicating in the A as well, part A, question 3, which we don't have.
Do you want me to go through the other 2 columns so then you can kind of see before you decide?
Yep.
So we'll go into
leaning towards an A too.
Cool. The analysing and evaluating. So just down here, I guess they've got both of these questions right to fulfill the B and the A in terms of their these 2 answers. Oh, so in the A, he has interpreted. I know. Sorry, I've jumped up to the A instead of going from the C level and then demonstrating up.
Yeah, question 5. That's fine.
Yep. So I mean, he's got both of the correct answers there.
Yep.
Are you happy with that to be an A then?
Yep. So they've got an A in the analysing, evaluating, and reflecting column. Yep. And so you want to do communicating?
Did they get part B, question 3 and 4? What was that again? Sorry.
Yeah, Anzac Day and January the 1st. So they've got that written down.
Yeah, those 2 there.
Oh, yeah, okay. Easy. and they got, I didn't highlight A question 2, sequences, personal events. Yeah, they did that.
So then for communicating, you happy to move on to that?
Yep.
Starting at a C, shared stories about events from their past. I mean, I feel like we can just tick that straight away because we know that they have.
Mm-hmm.
Going up to B, uses a storyboard to tell about past events. I'll go back to the storyboard, and we had good things to say about that storyboard, about the birthday and everything. And then I did tick an A because, and I know this is sort like a bit that I brought up in the previous one about part A, question 4. But specifically in that criteria, saying connecting ideas using appropriate terms or phrases to denote the passing of time. So the things that we were discussing in this bit here.
Yeah, the everyday language.
Yeah. So
that A refers to question A, part A, question 3, and part B, question 2, but which we don't have access to.
We've got question 2, and it's ticked.
It's
just the ticks. Yeah. Which is, she's ticked every sample. But but
no, it's valid.
I think given the use of the terms and phrases to denote passing of time in their other questions, we could probably safely assume that they did that in those ones as well. So I'm happy with the A too.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Even if we don't have the evidence for the A in communicating, the other 3 columns have got an A. So are we
2 of them do.
That I thought we had knowledge and understanding was an A, questioning and researching was an A, and analysing and interpreting was an A.
Knowledge and understanding, the A is an assumption, I think, as well, a bit, wasn't it?
I think I gave it an A, and then Angela Hamilton pointed out that was kind of based on some assumptions as well.
It's so just the ticks.
Yeah, just going to have a look across to see if we could kind of maintain that without the assumptions.
Yeah. I'm just being a hard marker.
That's right.
So I guess it's up to you if you, I mean, we could, if we were all teaching our own year 1 classes and I came saying, this is my sample A student, would you be happy to?
Yes.
You think?
Yeah, and I think also based on the other samples.
Yeah.
And this one gives more, uses that everyday language about time, when, was.
Much more full sentences.
Yeah, they've done the sequence in order, and it, as Angela Hamilton said, it relates to the important event, and then they did a storyboard on that event. So, yeah, I think out of all of the samples, it's probably one of the better ones out of the 5. Yeah. Yeah.
And even the detail of the 40th birthday and the 37th birthday, I liked that too.
Yeah.
It's just going a bit further than...
Yeah.
And that is also sequencing, and it's in a sense too.
But it's hard though, because we're not marking on their artwork, but they're clearly a very good drawer. But
yeah.
So it's hard for when other students that may not be good drawers, but then they may still have the knowledge, but not able to clearly draw it.
No, but the 30 and the 37 and the 40 aren't necessarily artwork, but as such, you know what I mean? Like that in itself is showing
well, they've
knowledge
shown
of time and sequencing and stuff. Yeah, but that's sequencing in itself, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's quite intelligent.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to look back at the calendar. Oh, no, on the calendar, Dad's birthday came first.
Yeah, I was just looking at that.
Oh well.
It's sequenced.
But that one's not sequenced, though.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't asking for them to be sequenced.
Yeah.
Oh.
I agree with Angela Hamilton that they've given more detail. They've talked about the ages of their parents and the event. So it's not just saying birthday. It was an actual specific 37th birthday or 40th birthday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So A.
It's good.
An A, a C, and a B.
So we've done sample. Sample E was an A. Sample C was a C, and sample B was a B. Oh, okay. All right. So we've only got sample A and D left. Did you want to save these two for moderating tomorrow, or do you want to keep going?
I'm happy to do either. It's up to you guys.
I suppose I've marked A, so we can do what you just did then, Bianca, when I suppose you guys haven't marked this one and I have, and explaining why I came to my conclusion.
Yep, I've marked A as well.
Okay.
But
Did you get much of an idea of how much time we're going to have tomorrow night?
No.
Okay. So maybe we should do another one if everyone's happy to kick on.
Yeah. Well, let's do this one and then we'll see how we go.
oh yeah, we could do this tonight, and then maybe tomorrow, if we only have one more to do, we probably don't need to record it, and we could work on like doing the last moderation and then editing our section so it's ready for submission. If we wanted something else to do.
That's a good idea. Cool.
Yeah. How do we edit? Do we? Oh, like you'll save it in editing program and do it that way.
Or you can just send us the Word document through email.
Yeah.
Oh, editing that document. Right.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you meant editing the video.
Oh no, I'll just send this. Although it's probably
I don't know how to edit.
way too big. I might even just see if I can upload it onto YouTube and then send a YouTube link. Because this has been going for friggin' ages.
Do we want to pause? And
we can pause, or we could just keep going do the last one if you want. Or
okay.
Just trying
to. Can you?
Oh yeah, I need to.
Can I override your share? Oh, I can't share while you're sharing. Sorry.
There we go. You're right. I did pause.
Oh. Can you see that?
Yep.
Okay. I haven't done this one properly, sorry, because I haven't done the C's. I think I gave this one a B because it was a combination of A and C responses, so I kind of split the difference. I don't know if that's how we...
I had a B and then crossed it out, and I ended up with an A. So maybe that'll be an interesting moderation. We can chat, and then Angela Hamilton can comment on what we've both done. Maybe you can be our decider.
Yeah.
Sure. I've got to print up another criteria sheet.
So for knowledge and understanding, I started out with a C because it relates to part A, question 1. And I suppose I was saying it identified an important event. I'm not sure what it is because I can't understand the drawings, but you would assume they've drawn something. So that's a C.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. What's with the mousetrap?
I assume that's like a game, like the mouse. Maybe they played the mousetrap game.
maybe.
And I thought maybe in the first picture there's a little cage. I thought that could either be a mouse trap or like a cat cage or something.
Yes.
Or maybe they've actually trapped a mouse because it's got help or something in the second one.
Yeah.
Does it?
Yeah.
So maybe they've caught 4 mice because the fourth one has a mouse trap with 4 little things in there.
I just thought of something then that I didn't consider before because I marked this one first. The question says, what important events have happened in your life? Is this an important event? I guess we can't really tell what it is, but if it's just like catching a mouse, that's just like something random that's happened in the past.
Yeah.
I think I don't agree with the A. After going back over, like immediately after going back over the student.
Yeah.
I feel like already this is.
Okay, because I gave them a C, but I suppose D is identifying a personal event. So it's personal to them that they caught a mouse.
Yep.
So it's definitely a D. And then but I suppose I'll go through the rest of
Either caught a mouse or their pet mouse escaped.
Yeah.
And then no, maybe not. Oh.
And then
it looks like the kids have then called their parents for help. Maybe.
Yeah.
And then maybe. I don't know, what's with the drawing, the things in the corner that look like little puzzle, like the little...
I don't know.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about that one.
It's a sun, maybe, in the second picture.
It could be sunlight coming down, maybe.
Maybe. Okay. That's right.
'Cause
I wasn't sure if that would help.
That's right. The other half of that C is part A. Oh, sorry, part B, question 1. If we go to part B, question 1, what 3 events are important to your family?
Excuse
me. They've got the 3, don't they?
Well, they've just said mum, dad, and Ruby. So I think it looks like maybe birthday, like there's balloons.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they've just maybe identified 3 birthdays. So
yeah,
I suppose, but that's important because if it's the mum and the dad's and Ruby birthday.
Yeah.
So I kind of said, they achieved the C for that one.
Yeah.
I don't think I didn't mark that they went to the B. So part A, question 4 and part A, question 3. Part A, question 3, we don't know because that's the sharing of the class. But part A, question 4, they do talk about that they have lost more teeth since starting high school. And they still do rock climbing.
I thought that they were creative ideas. Yeah. Like I've lost more teeth now than what I had before starting school, even though the full sentence isn't there. I felt like there was some evidence of like the more teeth was that comparative element and
So I think
and the
they
still rock climb. Sorry.
Yeah, that question's good. That question's done well, I think.
But then is it a C or a B? Because C criteria is identifying ways life has changed or stayed the same. So I think they've done that.
Yep.
And then to go a B, you have to say describes changes or continuities over time. I think they've identified it, but
think about the other papers. Think about the other papers and what we gave them. So remember the weird whiteboard one?
Yep.
was a C. Oh, C verging on D. Was
Yeah.
it?
Sample B we gave.
Shouldn't have said weird, sorry.
I feel like
sample
we're
B we
channeling
gave
like
a.
real teacher energy here.
Yeah, because sample B we gave a borderline BC because they said they have a new house and they still go to bed. So they've said I still go to sleep at night.
Yeah.
So I think between a B and a C
Mm-hmm.
for
I think it's better than, at least that question 4 one anyway, is
so
with the rock climbing and the use of still, the word still.
Yeah, okay. So
I think that's better than the other one. So the one with the whiteboard, and what was the other one next to the whiteboard?
The new house.
Yeah, we put that in a DC.
Yeah.
I don't crawl anymore.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it was crawl and whiteboard.
Yeah.
So that was DC. So it's got to be above that, whatever we do.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a BC for that one, I think.
Yeah.
Provides reasons for important events, which was part B, question 2. Well, I suppose the teacher has ticked it. So they technically should get.
That's where we have to look at
the rest of them.
The rest of it before we give.
Yeah.
For an A, I think.
I suppose for knowledge and understanding, they've achieved an A for that one. But yeah, we'll keep going to the other columns. So questioning and researching. I did have that they did an A because they had sequenced it.
Yeah.
Because there's the baby broke the leg when they were 1 year old.
Yeah.
And then baby broke the arm, which is a very unlucky baby. And then there was prep first day, and it talks about that they're 5 to 6 years old.
Yeah.
And then year 1 is 6 years old.
Yeah, I thought that was good.
Yeah. But I suppose compared to the other A, it's not at that same level. Potentially.
I mean, I kind of think like these are
it's similar.
They are like actual important events though that have happened in this kid's life. You know, he's thinking back, what's something quite meaningful or important? When I was a baby, I broke my leg and then I broke my arm, and then I started prep, and now I'm here. Even though maybe like the drawings aren't very good, so it seems like it's a bit less, not less smart, but you know, like less thought through because it's not in color or it's not like real detailed drawings. But I feel like the comprehension of the task and the ideas are still pretty good.
Yeah, and the only thing is that, as Angela Hamilton mentioned, it's not related to number 1, or is it? Because it's not clear if it's related to number 1.
Of course.
Is the mousetrap event, because it says then make your own storyboard. Draw pictures that show these events. So it's unclear whether or not we're saying that 1 and 2 need to be related, because I suppose it could be, you could read it either way, to be honest.
Yeah, because we didn't do that before.
Because it just says number 1, what important events have happened in your life. So that could be the end of number 1. And then it says number 2, make your own storyboard. Draw pictures that show these important events in order. So I'm not sure if we're going to
I feel like
say that they have to be.
Yeah, I feel like we'd have to go back and remoderate. Without that word these, how we overlooked that.
No, sorry guys.
No, it's good.
So I originally had it as A for that one, but let's just double check with the other A's. They've got B and C in that questioning and research. So records a personal and family event on the calendar is part B, question 5, which is, yep, they've got Harry's birthday, somebody's birthday is on the 30th, and then another birthday here. So the name has been obviously taken out for personal or for privacy.
Yeah.
So they've got at least 3 events. So they got the B. And then going back to sequencing personal events. Well, they got that sequence right. It's in order. You know, they're 1. They're still 1, but it could have happened later in that year.
Yeah.
5 and 6 and 6.
So it's sequenced and it's chronological as well. Yeah, I think that's why I gave it an A as well.
Responds to question about personal family events, which is probably the one where the teacher ticks it down here.
Yeah.
So the teacher has ticked that they've given the verbal response. So for question and research, I had an A.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then moving on to analysing, evaluating and reflecting.
Mm-hmm.
I had an A because they got part A question 6 right.
Yeah, I had that as well.
They had an A, and then the B is question 5 is right. So then they had the B. And then to get the C as well, use sources to identify information about past and present events. That's part B, question 3 and 4, which is here.
Anzac Day, is it?
And they've got that.
Yeah. I had A as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then going on to communicating, I had a B and a C. So I only had a B. Because share the stories about events is part A, question 3. Again, we don't know if they've done that because that's a sharing with the class.
Mm-hmm.
Where is that?
No,
yeah, because it says share your storyboard with the class. So we don't know if they've done that. But the other part was the part B, question 2, and the teacher has ticked that.
Yep.
I kind of thought that if the teachers ticked it, then they've verbally described it. And
yeah,
I was kind of happy to go with the teachers marking and assume that they did meet that to give them that A as well.
Me too, because it's about communicating. So
yeah.
I suppose they're verbally communicating their answers. So the teachers ticked it.
Yeah, but they probably ticked because they've shared stories about events from their past, which is a C. But have they provided reasons for the importance of events, which is the A? Connecting
ideas using appropriate terms or phrases to denote the passing of time. Okay, I have a tick and I think I did that again, going back to the question 4 of part A in there, even though it's not there, but they've communicated through their written text about I still do rock climbing. You know, that word, that phrase about that continuity of time is still something that I do, whereas some kids have just like stated something or
yeah, because it was question 3. Oh no.
But again, that's just my personal interpretation, and it's not technically part of that mark. So I just went there because I couldn't see it anywhere else, and I thought that they demonstrated it in that section. But I mean, even if we gave it between an A and a B, it still looks like they're pretty much across an A anyway. Do you reckon?
Yes.
Oh, although I didn't give them an A for communicating. I've given them. I've said they've used the storyboard to tell about past events, so they got a B.
Oh, sorry, that's what I meant. Like even if we did say it was a B there, the rest of the time they're sort of at an A, or even if, you know, for the knowledge and understanding, we base the A kind of more on assumptions. So that could be between an A and a B, but the middle two are A's, and then the outer two are kind of between both.
Yeah.
That was my justification for going with A, but also, I mean, that is some assumptions as well, so we don't have to. I guess.
But I think.
Yeah.
Let's compare against the A that we just did.
Yep.
That's a good idea.
I think this is worthy of an A when we've already got that A. Because I feel like, I suppose they haven't used it. They have done the sequence in chronological order, and they did say, I've lost more teeth, I still do rock climbing. But the other A talked about was when.
True.
So this was the A, which again related to that one thing, if we're going to say that. So they did the connection there, and then they did more describing about when and was and now when. So when you compare that against this one, sorry. That's the only reason I suppose I was leaning more towards a B.
Oh, I can't see.
Oh.
You're trying to bring them up on the screen?
Yeah. Are they there?
No. We can see your
sample.
We can see your Explorer.
It might have frozen.
Oh, yeah, it's showing on my. What about now? Oh,
Yep.
I've paused it. Hang on, let me just.
They're changed.
To you.
Oh, now you can see me.
Did you see sample?
No, we didn't see anything before.
Oh no! I'm sorry.
No.
Can you see something now?
No, it's still in that same. It just like your documents. That's okay.
Oh, okay.
I can bring it up if you need me to share my screen.
Yeah, I might do. Oh, hang on.
If you really want to. Otherwise.
Is that working now?
We can still see my documents or whatever.
So, I'm thinking in terms of the comparison between the two students, the A and the E student, they've both got A's with good evidence for questioning, researching, analysing and reflecting. The student that we already gave an E, the student E that we gave a solid A, we took the teacher's marks, our assumptions, and gave them an A for knowledge and understanding based on their markings, the tick for the reasons. So I feel like for student A, we kind of should do the same because they've met the other bits as well. And if we're going to give that same assumption to the student E, then we probably should for student A as well. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
And then for communicating, I guess it's just, it's hard. It's the difference between.
Yeah, because I felt like sample E just gave more detail, like even just that page, and then like that. Sorry, I'm gonna go old school because of like those differences.
How about we look at the one we gave a B and see whether this sample A is similar to.
Okay, so we gave sample B a B.
Yeah.
And hey, I just have to go grab my battery because I'm about to run out. So I'll be back in a sec.
I think those two are actually quite comparable.
The A or the B?
The B.
Okay. I felt like it was more comparable with the A.
Oh.
But I'm only taking in. it's just because the drawings I feel like aren't as good, but actually, let me have a look again. This is tricky. At first, the first bit of it, I'm thinking this is pretty easy, but now, like, when you get to when you're stuck somewhere, it's tricky. Then you've got to navigate, like, everyone's opinions and things as well.
Sorry about that. I was just getting a battery warning.
Actually, though, see, the thing is, we're not marking the writing or the spelling, though, but the spelling in sample A is the writing in sample A, it's so much neater.
It is, but
yeah. Sorry. So we're comparing sample A against sample B because we gave sample B a B.
yeah.
And so we're just, sorry, I'm just recapping.
No, that's good.
So we're between an A and a B for sample A. And I was kind of thinking, sample A, whilst it was good and it was a A, B, it wasn't as good as the A we've already given. And it is pretty similar to the B we've given for sample B.
Well, think the A that we just marked as well, we marked that pretty easily within A's. Like, there wasn't much discussion. It wasn't like we were they just met it really quite straight across the board. So it was like an easy A, whereas I guess it's still possible within the scope of all the grades to give someone a mark and them have the same grade but still not quite be at the same level, you know? There's still going to be, that scope within each of the gradings.
Yeah. Because I think when you compare sample B to sample A, part A, question 1 and 2 are pretty similar.
They're very similar, yeah.
Very similar.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was that? Part A? Say that again.
Part A, question 1 and 2 of sample B and sample A are very similar.
Yeah, I agree.
And then, so let's then look at
but not question 4.
Question 4 looks like a marked difference.
Yes.
But is that just because it's neater and prettier? Or, because, it says, I have lost more teeth. And then the other one,
I have a new house.
Said, I have a new house. And then something that's the same.
I'm going to sleep.
Still going to sleep. I still do rock climbing. Like, it is clearer.
It is.
That's tricky because I guess I was looking at those in student A, the word still rock climbing, and I have lost more teeth, like as a comparative, but you're right.
True. Yeah.
But still, I mean, you're right in sample B, the new house.
I like A- buses.
But now I'm going to change because I think because they don't, like, if they'd said I have a new house now or use words, whereas I agree that they still do rock climbing. So something is the same because they've used the word still.
Yeah.
Yeah, question 4 is definitely better in A than B.
But I think that's just in the communication. Do you think that just that communicating bit of the denoting passing of time, or like using those appropriate words or phrases?
Yeah, the everyday terms to denote passing of time.
Yeah.
So they've used the word still.
Well, if we gave that, that'd be 3 A's and then a B, so it would be average out to an A.
Okay.
That's one way of approaching it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
As
True.
opposed to
Okay.
straight A's
Yeah.
right along.
So then do you give them, so if they've got A's for 3 columns but not for the 4th, is that an A?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Because
Yeah.
it's 3 out of 4 and they've mostly achieved it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
it's just probably like an 85%, not a 99 or something, you know?
But they're still in that A range. Okay, all right. Well, when you put it like that, I suppose, because when you think about our uni, 7 is what, 85 to 100. So even if you get 85, you still get a 7.
Yeah.
Even though it could be somebody else is getting 100.
And we could use that, like you mentioned before, with the comment section to write about, like you're sitting with an A range, but to improve, like to a stronger A, working on communicating. If that's the area that we're highlighting needs improvement, we can do that there.
Yeah, it's a good idea for the feedback and
Yeah.
Comments. Okay. All right.
I'll work on communicating or work on...
Communicating, because that was the column that we haven't given a straight A to. Yeah.
I thought, sorry, okay, I got it backwards.
Yeah.
I was giving them an A for that because they were using the terms and phrases like still and more. But I didn't give them the A on the knowledge and understanding because it was just a bit too big a jump to assume that in their storyboarding that we can't see, or not in their storyboarding, in question 2 or part B, that they've provided reasons for the importance of events. But I think that they do probably use appropriate terms or phrases to denote passing of time.
Look,
so doesn't matter. Anyway, so I had B and C for knowledge and understanding, and then A.
That's okay. And look, this is probably something that we can write in our personal reflections, the fact that maybe, so for me personally, I felt a bit more relaxed and happy just to go with the teacher's tick to say that, if the question is why are these events important to you, I kind of didn't really, I was like, yeah, that's fine. Whereas maybe you could I don't know, note about that and say that, it was probably a bit more important to you to see like that evidence a bit more throughout there, rather than it being so heavily reliant on like the outcome of the mark. We can probably just talk about that. Do you reckon in our reflections?
Sure. Sorry, I didn't mean to be difficult.
No, you're not being difficult. I'm just saying it's like a difference of, it's not even that different. It's just like you're trying to be fair, Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's why we moderate, because I suppose we all got different answers. So I'd started with a B, so we're ending with an A.
Yeah, I think so.
On that one? Yeah. Yeah. Because that's good. Because, that I suppose is fair. Moderation, I suppose, is fair for the student because, if they've got one teacher that's a hard marker, some of the other teachers would be able to give some perspective and
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that part B question 2 was bugging me because it provides reasons for importance of events.
I know. So we just assume, because it's very difficult when it's just got a tick. It just says yes.
We don't have
because it's why are these events important to you?
Yeah.
So we're just assuming that when the teacher ticks that they've given reasons. Because the only time, and
that's what I meant. I think I could happily give them the A because of in the communicating, because they were using some appropriate terms or phrases in one of the other questions.
Yeah. Okay.
Not in B question 2, because once again we couldn't see that, or in A question 3 we couldn't see that. But
Yeah, I think
in
that's
other
fair.
work. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's why. Anyway,
Yeah.
Okay.
cool.
Cool. All right. All right. Are you guys gonna hate me if I say I'm tired?
Oh,
So,
that's
and
fine.
it's almost 10 o'clock. Do you mind if we don't do? We've only got one left, or do you want to do it? I'm just fading really fast because I'm old.
We can do it tomorrow.
I'm
I'm
not
sure.
old.
I'm
I'm
sure
old.
they won't mind if we stop the
42.
recording early and do the rest tomorrow.
What does that make me?
Oh, just.
Sorry, my
No, it's
birthday on Wednesday.
Oh, mine was last Wednesday.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah, so that's why I was
And you're
feeling old.
77?
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Oh, okay. Now I understand why you're saying. Oh,
I'm
so you don't think you're old?
42.
Yeah, I think I'm old, but that's good that you don't think you're old. I think that's really good. So I should probably change the way I feel about my 42nd birthday on Wednesday. Well, are we still recording? Sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I'll stuff it.